my gorgeous ladies and handsome gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about the live stream for version 3.6 Back to Earth in Evernight and what we could see in it, and I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Star Rail, and without any further ado, let's just get started. So first of all, the live stream is going to be on the 12th of September, which means that it is going to be basically on Friday, and it is going to be the same timing as usual, so keep that in mind so that you watch basically the live stream live. Now, as you can see, the guests aren't going to be basically Evernight and the new form of Dan Heng, but we have instead the new form of Dan Heng, and then we have basically Sunday and Himiko. On other live streams you might find actually other guests, and I believe that at least one of them has actually Evernight as one of the guests, but for the English one, unfortunately, she doesn't exist here for some reason. Either way, we are having basically Sunday here, and I think that Sunday is here because he is very important for the story, because even though he doesn't show up that much in the story itself, he did actually do one of the most important things that helped basically Herta, Cyrene and Scrollum to trap Lygus in the time prison that they trapped him in. It was all thanks to Sunday that they were able to hack into his mind and be able basically to trap him in that time trapment. So that is basically why I think that Sunday is here. However, Himiko might have something to do with the upcoming story instead and what could happen in it. So we will see what they are going to do here, but when it comes to the live stream itself, we are obviously going to get the version trailer, and this time I think that it is going to be a version trailer, unlike basically the previous trailer where it was more like a second half trailer, just like the Nameless Faces, which was basically the first half of Amphoreus trailer. I think that the previous trailer was actually a second half of Amphoreus trailer, but this time I think that we are going to get the usual version trailer. So we aren't going to get something massive in it, but we are going to get definitely some looks at basically how the new form of Dan Heng is going to be, how the new form of Evernight or March 7th is going to be, and stuff like that. So there will be also some stuff about the story that is going to happen in 3.6 as well. So we are going to get some really important stuff in this one instead of getting some random basically stuff like the previous one. And hopefully we are going to see also the new form of Cyrene, or they could leave it basically until the next version in 3.7, because usually they like to give us basically the important stuff about the characters when they release them, so that they increase the hype of these characters. But there is also the possibility that maybe at the very end of it they would show us the transformation where Cyrene basically transform into her new form, or they could just hint at it and then leave us there and start basically the next story with her transforming. Either way, this is the trailer. Now, when it comes basically to the rest of the live stream, we are going to obviously see the new characters. We are going to see the new form of Dan Heng, his abilities and his animations, and we are going to see basically Evernight as well, her abilities and her animations. They are also going to talk about the story, which I really don't like, because they spoil the hell out of the story during the live stream, and that is just so annoying. Like, for real, man, why do they spend all that time on spoiling the story for the players? I just don't understand. They spoil everything they can spoil about the story, and it's just so annoying because you are forced to sit through all of that before you go to the other stuff that you might want actually to watch. And it's just crazy. Like, for anyone who cares about the story, this is the worst nightmare they do in every live stream, where they just spoil the entire story for you before you even play it. It's just so annoying, man. So I really hope that they stop doing that and instead just give us some pretty much a summary of basically the previous story, and then they don't give us anything about this current story, because that is going to be very, very bad. Like, if they do actually give us another summarization of what is going to happen in the next story, that is going to be so horrible. Especially this one, because this one is an extremely important one. It has 3 of the main characters that many people have been waiting for: Dan Heng, March 7th, and Cyrene. And if they spoil how they are going to transform into these new forms, that is going to be so horrible, man. I understand that Evernight has already transformed into Evernight, but they are most likely going to go through her memory and show us basically how she transformed, or at least give us some information about how she transformed. And basically, if they spoil that during the live stream, that is going to be just horrible. Either way, other than that, we are going to see the events and other stuff that they are going to do. In case there are any other basically quality of life improvements as well, they are going to give us that in this live stream. And then sometimes, just sometimes, they give us some upcoming quality of life improvements as well, which are going to happen later on in other updates. I don't know if they are going to do any more basically balance changes to characters, where they balance the characters and buff them, because they didn't do any since the first time they did, which is just crazy. Like, seriously, even they weren't really that crazy of a balance change. Like, yes, the characters are okay now, but okay doesn't mean that they are useful. They aren't useful. Like, come on, man. They need to do way more with the characters in order to make them actually useful. And I understand that they don't want to do that, because if they do that, they are going to give you a free-to-play option of being basically able to clear the content that they want you to pay money to clear, and therefore they don't want to give you that free-to-play option, but instead they want you to pay money for it. So that's why they don't want to go hard on the characters. They just want to make them okay to use, nothing else. But we will see if they are going to change that later on. Either way, this is my opinion about the live stream and what we could see in it. I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Star Rail. And until next time, see you as always in the next video.